Tesla shareholders meeting, no succession plan, a co-founder returns, and two EVs teased. Tesla recently had its shareholders meeting in Austin. There was definitely some ups and downs. There's definitely people expressing concerns. It's something that we want to jump into and kind of talk about real quick. We've got a lot of crazy stuff going on. Obviously, when it involves Elon Musk, there's always crazy stuff going on. But it said Tesla held its annual shareholder meeting in Austin on Tuesday, an event that Tesla has now taken to calling its Cyber Roundup. There were 5 proposals on the agenda, including one that pushed Tesla's board to come up with a public succession plan for CEO Elon Musk and other key persons whose behavior and loss could create a risk for the company and shareholders. There is a lot of conversation around Elon Musk and potentially losing Elon Musk for behavior. I mean, he's had some wild behavior. The things that he does, it causes a lot of attention to the company, not so much positive attention. And I think there is a lot of folks who are heavy investors in the organization who are not happy, and you would even say there's a spectrum. There's some that are not happy, but then also there's some that are concerned, and they have every right to be concerned because you have a large chunk of your money invested, and you have a CEO out there who definitely likes to, poke the bear. Let's put it that way. And I don't think anyone would argue, no matter how you feel about Elon Musk, that there's definitely a behavior pattern where he's poking the bear consistently. And it's always been on the back of my mind as you watch him, is like, I wonder what makes it to where this guy can do this all the time and be in the position that he's in. Because typically the CEO, the guy who's at the guy who's driving the ship, the guy at the helm, or girl, whoever, the person that is at the helm of the ship, driving the ship, and being that face of the company, typically cannot behave in that manner and can't get away with it for too long, because typically when you see certain types of behaviors, the tweets and the constant back and forth with certain individuals and certain politicians and doing different crazy things, then all of a sudden people start getting really, really nervous because it attracts a lot of negative attention. It gets people all stirred up, and it just brings in this whole wave of issues and stuff that you have to deal with that honestly is unfair for people who are your investors. There's people that have believed in your company. There's people that are putting their money there, and so they get nervous, and they have every right to be nervous, because those people that are there, the people that have enough money invested to be concerned, are people who have invested very heavily. So they have every right to be questioning it and be nervous. So hopefully his response and his demeanor in these concerns is one of respect towards the people who have, provided the finances for his company to be where it is, and they're going through rough times right now. So it says, while Tesla will publish the official vote tallies later in the week, the board recommended shareholders vote against the key person risk proposal, so it likely won't pass. So that's interesting. I don't know much of why they did that. I don't know if there's a legitimate reason, or if the reason at least sounds legitimate for why they did that. At a time when Tesla's technological leadership should be on display, the investment community largely sees us adrift, with management focused on all matters not Tesla, watching as Tesla's brand favorability dropped by 15 points last year, something that costs us margins, said Karen Roberts' daughter. I'm terrible with names, guys. I'm just terrible with names. A shareholder in Iceland during the event. So we see there was a shareholder there who passing a comment saying that this is they're not he's not focused, with management focused on all matters not Tesla. When people look at this company, they see the company as a synonym for its CEO, and the discussion turns to everything except for where it should be focused. Without explicitly saying it, this person nodded to concerns many investors have had with Musk's controversial online presence, as well as his potential distraction away from Tesla after purchasing and taking over the social media platform Twitter. Musk has also been criticized for repeatedly selling shares of Tesla to fund the Twitter buyout. Now, there are so many things to go over in this. It's crazy. It is crazy. So it says when Musk officially bought Twitter in late October, Tesla shares closed at $228.52 a share. On Tuesday, they closed at $166.52 dollars a share. And then it says Musk said Tuesday he has no intention of stepping down as CEO of Tesla. He says, I think Tesla is going to play an important role in AI and AGI, and I think I need to oversee that to make sure it's good, he said. Okay, so there's multiple things to break down real quick. AGI refers to artificial general intelligence, the concept that an AI can learn to accomplish any intellectual task that humans or animals can perform. Okay. So there's always this big question, like, because right now you have like shows like Shark Tank and all these things. So you have these big investors and big wigs that continuously are on TV. They become celebrities. They become talking heads. They comment on not just anything business, but then they start having them comment on economy and money and finance, and then they have them start commenting on politics. And typically when these guys start stepping out into different worlds and they start commenting on things that they really don't have that much expertise in, or they don't have that much, let's say, knowledge, because they're not doing the research as someone who's like knee deep in the political world, like a political pundit or a political talking head, someone who is a commentator on those things. So they start passing comments and saying things, and what you quickly realize is that, oh, these people are just regular people like you and me. They're not, they don't have any special inside knowledge. They're not super intelligent. They're very, very skilled at one thing, and they're very, very smart in one area, and in another area they're just as dumb as I am. So that's kind of what you begin to realize. And so it shakes things up a bit. We kind of see that with the investors in Shark Tank, but they get into this like celebrity spotlight, and there's always a question when it comes to CEOs, especially of large companies, when they step into this celebrity status, whether it doesn't even have to be this international celebrity, someone who's known on TV. It just so happens that Elon Musk is known across the world, so he is a massive mega superstar celebrity. But I mean, you even seen organizations where CEOs or executive leadership become local celebrities in towns, and that they could become really well known. And what happens is that their behavior and their actions and the way they handle things get put on display publicly, and it's always tied back to the organization. That's where the problem has. And this is what people are seeing here. At a time when Tesla's technological leadership should be on display, the investment community largely sees as a drift. This is this person's comment. Watching as Tesla's brand favorability drop by 15 points last year, something that cost us margins. This is something that a shareholder said while watching or being at the event or watching the event. They're discussing how, unfortunately, Elon Musk has taken very public opinions, and has taken opinions that are, they're not in the middle. They're of course, nowadays it doesn't matter where your opinion's at. You're going to get attacked no matter what you do from both sides. But he's taken up opinions in a environment that has a lot of criticism involved with it. And so what happens ultimately is that the brand Tesla gets dragged into that. And we've seen people try to boycott Tesla. We've seen people so all that happens. And so when you have shareholders, they get get nervous, and they have a right to be nervous, because all those comments that he passes, if he wants to be in that arena, does affect the company that he's supposed to be representing. And it has an effect on that. Not to mention, there's always this question of, he runs so many different organizations. I mean, you have SpaceX, you have Tesla, and you've got Twitter now, which he supposedly has hired a CEO over there, so he's not going to be as involved, but still going to be involved. And so there's questions about where his loyalties lie, how much is too much. It doesn't seem like a lot of people were saying all these things. It would pop up occasionally when he had SpaceX running and Tesla, but it was never too bad. Of course, times were good back then, and the company was, the shares were going at over $1,000 a share, and now we're in this season where the shares have dipped extremely low in this market. Times are tough, and when times are tough, people start asking questions and people get nervous, and you have to show face. At that time, you have to show face. I don't think Elon Musk's comments and doing interviews about AI and all things tech, I don't think that's what's causing the concern. I think it's when he enters into the political realm, and he starts commenting on political things, and he starts, showboating in a way to make political statements, and all these various different things that he begins to do. I think that's where people get nervous, because essentially, Tesla isn't doing that well right now. I mean, as is a lot of companies, doing that well in the shareholder price and all this stuff. And so people are nervous, and what they don't want to see happen is they don't want to see it go plummeting even further within their sales and revenue and all that kind of stuff. And so they have a right to be concerned. And at this time, the CEO has to stand up and show face. And even the comment that he says, Musk said Tuesday he has no intention of stepping down as CEO of Tesla. I think Tesla is going to play an important role in AI and AGI, and I think I need to oversee that to make sure it's good. I didn't see his full, speech or whatever when and if he did say this from the platform. I didn't actually watch this whole thing. I'm just reading from this article. But I hope that this was just a statement or one segment, and this is not all he had to say about Tesla, because even this, if he's using this as the reason, or at least saying this, I think Tesla's going to play an important role in AI and AGI. People don't care. Like, that's not a good enough reason that's not going to build confidence as to why you're here and why you deserve to be in the role that you're in and why you need to lead the organization. So because Tesla is a car company, and it makes the self-driving cars, so there's AI involved, and so it's fine to say, hey, this is going to play an important role in AI. But I think what people are wanting to see from him is the dedication and commitment to leading this company out of the rut that it's in. And I think that's and say what you want to say. I think if someone has handed you millions of dollars to run your organization, I think they have every right to desire to see that from you. That's just, like I said, I've been involved in startups. I've been involved in startups that had to raise capital. And, I think that people, when they give you a lot of money, they have every right to desire to see you use it in a good way. And I mean, if you've got people that have been, committed to you, they've got people that have been with you from the very beginning, and they're investors, and they're asking to see something from you, I think they have every right to see that, and he's in this very difficult tightrope. And, say what you want about the guy, he seems to be really insistent on, shortening the rope. So he's continually, there's so many things he's stepping into and commenting on and engaging in. It's like, okay, how much is too much? Eventually you are only a human. I understand he's really intelligent. I understand all that stuff, but you've got multiple different organizations going on. You're traveling around all the time, and it's not projecting confidence that you're out for the best of Tesla. And so that's where the concerns come from. And I think it has every right to do that. And he says AGI refers to artificial general intelligence. Shares of Tesla remained somewhat flat after the meeting, rising only about 1% in after-hours trading. That lackluster reaction from investors might be a response to most of the meeting simply rehashing highlights from the last 12 months rather than sharing much news. That said, Musk did provide Cybertruck and Roadster updates, teased two new electric vehicles, said Tesla might shift its advertising strategy, and shared his macroeconomic expectations for the next year. Tesla also announced J.B. Straubel as a board member. And so they have plans for the future. They have, all that kind of stuff. It's all good. I think a lot of this right now, unfortunately, a lot of the concerns and a lot of the thoughts about the organization is all going to focus and center around Elon Musk himself, and how he's being perceived by the public. And it doesn't even matter. I mean, the man may not have that much involvement in Twitter and these other organizations. He may have a manageable level of involvement, but unfortunately, it makes people nervous and can cause a whole uproar when you go into times of downfall for your company, and they know that they have a CEO who has his hands in other things. There is no such thing as a part-time CEO. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a part-time CEO. And I know that he's hired CEOs for these other organizations that he's involved in, but it does seem like that they are nervous now that he goes and spends time over at Twitter, he goes and spends time over at SpaceX, and then he's away from Tesla. And he can't be in two places at once. He can't focus on two things at once. I don't care how smart the guy is. I don't care how his mind works. You just, that's not something you can do. You only can work and be present in one place at a time. You can't, maybe he can snap in, snap out of it, and he goes from one thing to another, but eventually it catches up with you. So we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be fine. I think he's, like I said, I think he's very smart. I think he can figure it out. But I can understand why people were nervous. I can understand why people are nervous, and from the outside, it really doesn't make sense why he would be involved in those things. And I think that's going to continually be a pain point for Tesla, and continually be a pain point for anyone high up in that board. I think no matter what, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, if you're facing any sort of struggle in the company, you're going to continuously hear about this over and over and over again. And you have continuously heard about this over and over again. This has always been something that a lot of the investors there have brought up in the past. Is his constant involvement in things, and then his constant public persona that he has to put on. And when he smoked whatever the thing was on Joe Rogan's podcast, people start freaking out. So all that kind of stuff, I think is going to continuously hurt him. So during the event, Musk teased 2 new electronic vehicles that would join Tesla's lineup. The CEO said Tesla was in the process of building one and designing another, but he wasn't clear if he meant that Tesla was building a prototype or a production vehicle. Musk said he didn't want to get into specifics of the new vehicles, which would require their own launch events, but Tesla did display a silhouette of one of the vehicles. Based on the size, it's possible that Tesla was teasing the $25,000 hatchback that Musk mentioned back in 2020 during the company's Battery Day. Both of the new vehicles that are coming to Tesla's lineup are expected to be affordable vehicles that sell at much higher volumes. Elon's guess is that we'll probably make in excess of 5 million units per year of these two models combined. So yeah, if there's an economical model, I'm all about it. I'm all about that cheaper. Like, give me the hatchback. Can't fit my kids in there, but it'll be my dad car. So there you go. Cybertruck updates. Musk said Tesla will deliver its first Cybertrucks later this year and should be able to deliver 250,000 to 500,000 per year once production is started. Tesla first announced the Cybertruck in 2019, but vehicle production has been repeatedly delayed. On Tuesday, Musk apologized for the delays and promised the product would be better than expectations. Man, what a delay. Oh, to pay for that? Oh my God. In July last year, the CEO said Tesla aims to begin production of the Cybertruck in summer 2023. Wow. Man. Musk noted during the shareholder meeting Tuesday that the Cybertruck will have plenty of attachment points so that third parties can develop attachments to enhance the truck and turn it into a camper. Last week, during Tesla's groundbreaking ceremony of its lithium refinery plant in Texas, Musk drove a Cybertruck complete with a roof rack accessory. Musk has also said that the vehicle will be waterproof enough to serve briefly as a boat. Wow. Wow. So pretty cool stuff. Anyways, so that's what you're dealing with here. I don't think there's, I don't think there's much more to break down. It's just so sad because you have a really cool company, and the news constantly focuses around him and his, antics and the stuff that he does and all this stuff. That's constantly been a pain point, in everything that, and that this company has faced. But it says Tesla will have a ChatGPT moment. Nary a Tesla event goes by in which Musk doesn't wax lyrically about the possibilities of the automaker's AI. Musk said Tuesday that it's by far the most advanced real-world AI. Today, this AI manifests in Tesla's advanced driver assistance system, confusingly dubbed full self-driving. The latest version of FSD can handle driving tasks both in urban areas and on highways, but it still requires a human to stay alert and take over control of the vehicle as needed. Roughly 400,000 Tesla owners in North America have purchased the $15,000 beta software. The other way Tesla's AI will manifest is in the company's humanoid robot, Optimus. Tesla displayed new videos of Optimus development and testing at the shareholder event. As full self-driving gets closer and closer to generalized real-world AI, that same same software is transferable to a humanoid robot, said Musk. My prediction is that the majority of Tesla's long-term value will be Optimus. The CEO continued, reiterating a point that he has made before. After the shareholder event, Musk joined CNBC's David Faber for an interview that covered a broad range of topics from Tesla to Twitter, content moderation to free speech, the ethics of AI, and Musk's early investment in OpenAI, the startup behind the widely popular controversial AI model ChatGPT. Tesla will have a ChatGPT moment, if not this year, then no later than next year, said Musk, referring to the technology's swift exponential breakthrough. Suddenly, 3 million cars will be able to drive themselves with no one, and then 5 million, and then 10 million. Well, we'll see, man. I mean, he's made promises like that before. He's got that humanoid. It's interesting that he says, my prediction is that the majority of Tesla's long-term value will be Optimus. So he's got the robot coming out, and he's, okay, man, it's just a change up. Yeah. It's just a change. It's interesting to watch this stuff because he kind of does break all the rules, right? Like you have your niche, you stick in your niche, and he's doing phones or talking about doing phones or whatever, and now he's going to do the AI robot, and it bounces around a lot. So it's going to be interesting to watch how this affects the company and where this goes, and and then you got a CEO who's involved in 4 different things. Like, I mean, this is what people get nervous because during this interview, he's being asked about free speech, content moderation, and ethics of AI. It's just he's involved in a lot of things. And whereas a lot of these investors are saying, hey, you need to be just focused on Tesla, and if you can't be focused on Tesla, we need to put someone in there who can only be focused on Tesla. So time will play out. I can understand their nervousness. I don't know where I land on it, but I totally understand them being nervous because, like I said, he's only human. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the content. This was an interesting article. Please like, share, subscribe, all those things. It really helps the channel. I very much appreciate the likes. That helps in the algorithm. It helps get the video out to more people. And so the best thing you could do to help me is to like the video, comment below. Let me know what you think. If you're a fan of Tesla, if you're a fan of Elon Musk, if you think that this pathway that he's on is going to lead to destruction, or do you think he's going to continue in this path and be able to maintain integrity on all these organizations? That's a really crazy thing to see someone doing that and living that way, and it's interesting to watch. That's what makes it so interesting, and I think that's what makes him so famous, is because of the lifestyle that he lives and how he takes on all these projects. So, all right, guys, hope you enjoyed it. I will catch you in the next one.